Good afternoon, you guys. Today's question is the tithe for today? You'll have to excuse me, I'm recording this after a run. Of all the questions I am asked to answer, says Hank Hanegraaff, this is beyond a doubt the most difficult. Not only because the subject of tithing is hotly debated, but because I must confess that I personally have not always been faithful in giving a tenth or more to the work of the Lord. Same here. And I am not alone. Research demonstrates that the vast majority of Christians not only do not tithe regularly, but many give little or nothing at all. Thus, while addressing this question is incredibly convicting, it is also increasingly crucial. First, as Randy Alcorn has well said, tithing may well be regarded as the training wheels of giving. That's a very important quote. As such, tithing is as important today as it has ever been. We all need to learn what it is to stride free and unfettered down the path of Christian stewardship. For in learning to give, we also are learning to lean more heavily upon our Heavenly Father and less heavily upon ourselves. Those who have traveled the Calvary Road for any length of time surely can testify to the truth that God is ever faithful. Not only so, but as we weekly set aside our tithes and offerings, we are reminded that all we are or ever hope to be is a gift from God. Furthermore, as Moses communicated to the children of Israel, we tithe so that we may learn to revere the Lord our God always. As we all know, learning to reverence the name of the Lord is a timeless principle, as crucial today as in the day of Moses. Long before Moses, the Bible records Jacob's promise to God, "Of all that you give me, I will give you a tenth." Genesis 28:22. Long after Moses, Jesus reaffirmed the practice of tithing, Matthew 23:23, not for outward appearances, but as an outward expression of an inward reality. Additionally, in the 4th century, the great church father Jerome echoed the words of Malachi, who intimated that failing to pay tithes and offerings was tantamount to robbing God, a prescription for financial ruin. I have more to say about that passage, but I won't right now. Finally, it should be noted that tithing in the Old Testament not only prepared God's people to become hilarious givers, but produced a temple of unparalleled splendor. The Israelites, who pined for the pleasures and protection of pagan Egypt more than for the one who had miraculously parted the Red Sea, had been transferred into joyful givers. The Bible chronicles the prayer of David as he thanked God for the very privilege of being able to give to the work of the Lord. And I've also heard that tithing is the last grace given. I don't know if that's true, but I think there's a lot of truth in that. Anyway, David says, "But who am I and who are my people that we should be able to give as generously as this? Everything comes from you, and we have given you only what comes from your hand." 1 Chronicles 29:14 and 17 also. What began as a spiritual discipline had evolved into sheer delight. There's no telling what can be accomplished in our generation if we too may catch the joy of contagious giving. I think there's a church around that has a shirt that says "Give generously." Might be LSCC or somebody like that. I don't know. Not only would we be empowered to spread the gospel around the globe, but we would be enabled to feed the hungry, clothe the naked, and care for the sick, like our forefathers who founded great centers of Christian education, established countless hospitals, and funded myriad of relief organizations. I think of Russ White. We might yet leave an indelible mark, it means you can't get rid of it, on our generation. For only when the training wheels of tithing come off will the world of free will giving become our playground. Well, that's a way to say it right there. So, if you understood that, there's probably many questions that follow. At least I would have some. But I hope that was helpful. It says from Hank Hanegraaff, the Bible Answer Book. Hope you guys are having a good week so far, and we will talk to you soon. See ya.